Biggest news of the day, Mega Man is back when it was seemingly very much not back. There's a reason why this would not be on anybody's prediction, why this wouldn't be anywhere. It's a genuinely wonderful surprise. It didn't get leaked, nothing. The reason is that one of the lead producers of Mega Man, pretty much like Captain Mega Man at Capcom for the very much longest period of time, left the company like 2 or 3 years ago. Like, it was quite a while ago. He was like the lead producer. We're not talking Inafune, like the people that had continued to do Mega Man stuff like for a long while and were trying to champion the project. We thought we were going to be getting more Mega Man like 12 and all that kind of stuff. So he left and it was like, oh, this is cooked. Yeah, there was just no announcements of anything for years. Like for quite a long time. He's over at Cygames now. So anyway, yeah, it's been kind of presumed for the longest period of time. Mega Man has just been long gone, just absolutely long gone. The chance of this coming back is extremely small. Moving to now, there's actually a brand new Mega Man game. Capcom, even a few days ago, like not even that long ago, recently was talking from like financial reports and executives, and they were saying that there's a couple of staple franchises that they want to return. And they want to be a part of the Capcom lineup because ultimately speaking, we talked about this with Pragmata. There's a lot of things that Capcom fans want, and it's not exactly new IP. And a lot of Capcom fans are waiting on old Capcom IP to either come back or even exist because they just haven't existed for so long. Or have so long periods of time in between each game, like Devil May Cry now, that it feels like we should have gotten something else at this point. There's a lot of reasons why and or why not that hasn't happened. But still, they said Mega Man was one of those IPs that are important to them, that they want to make sure continues in some way. I wasn't expecting that, like literally within 48 hours of getting that information, bam, there's a brand new Mega Man game, dude. It probably is going to feature Proto Man in some way. Ain't no reason. It's called Dual Overdrive, and they do the Proto Man whistle, and there's a whole bunch of like old school Mega Man visuals and iconography all over the place, like Mega Man 2 and 3, without there being a Proto Man thing in the game. So I would not be surprised if there is a multiple playable character aspect to the game. Hopefully a co-op. That would be cool. That would be mad cool if Mega Man Dual Override has a co-op mode where you play as Mega and or Proto. If you want to take an old school Mega Man game and make me really excited about it, make it a co-op game in some way. Ooh boy, that would be that would be an actual game changer instead of just being the same old tried and true formula. Because Mega Man 11, as much as I did enjoy it and I had a great time, it was a very formulaic Mega Man. Like, that game could have been 2D like Mega Man 9 and 10 with its visuals and not been that much different of a game. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is just the old school Mega Man formula. Either way, the craziest news that happened as a result of all this is the thing that I wanted to talk about the most. There are some good points to it, a couple of bad faith arguments in there, people that just don't really understand. And there is a clear upgrade. That point is that the new Mega Man game looks bad. Game looks cheap. Game looks bad. Why does it look exactly like Mega Man 11? And we're going to pull up some examples of this. But one of the first things that I noticed was that I was very surprised that it definitely looks closer to an old school 2D Mega Man 11 sort of thing. But to me, I had a lot of disagreement with the way Mega Man 11 looked as a game and the way Mega looked as a character. I thought it was like kind of bad. I think Smash Brothers had a rendition of Mega Man that looked so much better and so much cooler and animated so much more honorably than what Mega Man 11 was. And Mega Man 11 was a game that seemed like it was arguably one of the most budget Capcom games we've seen in a very long time. So let's go and take a look at why people think that is the way it is, because I agree. I think the overall art style is pretty close to Mega Man 11. When I think to myself, the Mega Man 11 opening screen when we first saw it and the Mega Man 12 opening screen, they're the same thing. Like, they're very close to being the same thing in my head. So what I want to do is I want to pull up each trailer and kind of show off each game directly and how there is differences in there, and there's stuff that looks way better in the new game. But I hope some stuff changes from now till its 2027 eventual launch date that can make people not feel the same way. So let's compare. I do think I understand where you guys are coming from in this regard. Even the sound effects are very similar, you know? Like, yeah, I actually see what y'all are talking about. It's clearly a lot crisper and there's a whole bunch better visual stuff going on. definitely more crispy. But like the size of the character, you know, like the way the scrolling works, the way everything sort of collides, it's very similar. It's really not that much. Dang, and the camera actually even pulls back. That's crazy. They look the same. Ah, we'll talk about it. I had criticisms, dude. Like, I had legit criticisms the way Mega looks in this game. Dude, if you look at this stuff, his proportions are mad weird. Like, straight up hella weird. And this is one of the things that they absolutely get better in the new game, is that he doesn't look funny. Like, every single time he moves and jumps and stuff, some of the poses are kind of there. Mega Man 11 looks like Sonic 4. Yes! Yeah, that's a good comparison. The game is fine. Like, it's a solid, like, 8 out of 10 Mega Man game. It feels good. But so many of the things of, like, the way he looks in the game, I'm like, ugh. I just don't. He looks so cheap. I'm just gonna be real. I think he looks really cheap in this game. For some reason, like, there's all this cool craft across the entire experience, but Mega looks kind of lame. He looks like they were trying to save money in some ways, and for some reason, they chose the Mega Man animations and model to be the thing that does it. Like, I don't get it. Either way, the game was fine. It goes on being the most successful Mega Man game this side of planet Earth ever. Like, literally ever. Of mainline Mega Man games, the best one. So, if there's one thing that's clearly way better in this, is Mega looks good. He actually is animating a lot closer to arguably Capcom's best rendition of Mega Man in a 2D fashion, which, I'm gonna be real, is Marvel vs. Capcom 1 Mega Man. His proportions are a little bit closer to it, and when he moves around, it actually looks kind of cool. Mega Man 8, I think, looks pretty good. I think Mega Man 8 because Mega Man 8 and MVC 1 Mega Man were made right around the same time frame. So a lot of the keyframes are similar, you know? Like, I feel like Mega Man 8 influenced Marvel vs. Capcom, and now that is influencing this. So if we look at, yeah, let me show you some Mega Man 8 and exactly what I'm talking about.
Now the world is mine!
Nor the crudeness of the game. Yeah, it's actually, like, extremely well animated. Like, I think there's some stuff in Mega Man 7 that I necessarily don't like very much, but this game is, like, extremely cartoony, almost feels like Toy Story in some ways. But yeah, and Mega Man's actually, like, well-defined. Like, he looks good. He doesn't look, in my opinion, Marvel vs. Capcom good. I think Marvel vs. Capcom is even an upgrade to this because they changed his proportions. Mega Man MVC 1. And in this game, I think he just looks the best. Like, from animations to everything, he looks a bit closer even to the show. Like, I really dig this one, man. And I mean, granted, I'm an MVC bitch. But I just love this rendition of Mega Man. Big ass legs, big ass hands. Head isn't the size of a watermelon. I think this looks really cool. Getting to our point, they've managed to hit a pretty decent middle ground here. And they actually really cared about the way the character looks. The other thing that I think is different is the shading. For some reason, they do not go with a cel-shaded look on Mega Man 11. It does not look like a cartoon. I mean, it obviously looks cartoon-like. Damn, there's screen tearing in the trailer. That's crazy. It obviously is cartoon-like across the board. There's outlines and shit. But if you look at his shading, it is trying to go for realistic-looking shading. It's actually closer to something that they would have done in, like, MVCI, which is like, ugh. I think that is complementing the fact that Mega Man 11 I just don't agree with a lot of the way the game looks. I think some parts look fine, but ultimately speaking, certain things do not look good. It looks very cheap. It looks like they're trying to save money in some ways. When we get to this, dude, this is actual cel shading. Like, straight up, this is the first attempt that Capcom, like, let's acknowledge what we're looking at here. I don't know if this is the same engine, if they're using an old version of MT Framework, which is what Mega Man 11 did. I don't know if they're making this an RE engine. I don't know. But this is the first time we have seen Capcom straight up use their new engine to create visuals that are not extensively hyper-realistic. Like, this might be the first time. Yeah, it looks unfinished. Like, Dude, game ain't coming out for like 2 more years at least. They're probably still working on the visual design of the game, but we might be honestly looking at the very first time that Capcom is making something that is like kind of got cell shading or not realistic looking visuals. It's unpolished, but it's kind of cool looking. It's sort of neat. Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins uses RE Engine. Yeah, but Ghosts and Goblins doesn't have cell shading. It has like a painterly style. You know what I mean? So in that way, I'm kind of sold on it. I'm really into this art direction. It reminds me a lot of the way Mega Man 8 feels art direction wise, but it's supposed to feel like hand animation. Like that was the whole point, is that it looks like a very expensive cartoon. And dude, just the way he runs and moves is so much better. These seem like extremely minor things to anybody. But dude, there's been so few Mega Man games over the years that, bro, Monster Hunter Story, no, you're right. Monster Hunter Stories is actually, Monster Hunter Stories 3 is actually very good looking and will be out well before this. So even I looked at a game like Monster Hunter Stories 3 with zero intent at ever playing it. And I'm looking at that game now and I'm like, damn, this looks good. Like, this actually looks really good. Like, visually, this game looks better than Wilds in some way. Am I going to try it out? Depending on how things go next year, we'll see. But it's coming out in a very packed 2026 right now. So, with all that being said, glazing aside, we are actually seeing new effects on the character. There's harder shadows in this area than you see even in the early shots when he's obviously well lit in these areas. So yeah, he's taking battle damage and stuff. There's actual like visual distinctions when he goes through something. It's kind of neat. I think it's kind of cool that he has like, you know, bruises and shit if he's taking damage and stuff. That's kind of cool. So all this glazing aside and all this stuff that we noticed about the way the game looks, here's the problem. It still looks cheap. Compared to back in 2017 or something like that when we first saw Mega Man 11, that game also looked relatively cheap. Does not necessarily look like the game has a ton of budget. I don't really mind because it almost feels like Mega Man games are designed to be this way, that they're not going to cost a lot of money. Like they're going to be, this game will likely be 30 bucks. To be real, Capcom has effectively set up its entire fan base for the past 10 years on hyper-realistic, super high-quality visuals. And the majority of their games have not been that way. And the times that they have been that way over the past 10 years was smaller games like Ghosts and Goblins, Mega Man 11, which didn't feel like they were necessarily super expensive, or Street Fighter V. Unfortunately, Street Fighter V's art style was not a thing that everyone just jumped to the bone in anticipation of how good this game looks. For a long while, Street Fighter V looked like a worse Street Fighter 4 to many people. What I'm saying now is that, do I wish it was kind of more? Yeah, a little bit. I do kind of wish that we eventually got something that looked like really good. I don't think it looks bad because as somebody that has my own brain and eyes and plays these games as soon as they become available and has played the older games, not all of them. Yeah, I see clear upgrades. I see clear and distinct upgrades over what was the previous trailers and visuals of these games. Like, to me, this just looks effing bad now. Like, unfortunately, like, I think Mega Man 11 might drop a little bit in my own personal score because this just looks really bad in comparison to the new Mega Man game. It looks kind of rough. But it was a fun game. That's what really matters, is that it's a gameplay focused game. So do I have hopes? Yes, I have hopes that this eventually is actually providing something relatively different to the table. It's like bringing something new. And maybe it's a Mega Man. See, I see room for a Proto Man right here, where he pops in there too. I'm just saying. Dual override. I think that there's a room for another one of these little box things right there, and Proto Man pops down right next to him, and you have potentially a co-op game. Dual override. That could be a gameplay thing related to the mechanics of the character. Yeah. You know. What about bass? Who? Is it? Whoa. You think it's bass? Is this bass's theme? That's bass's whistle. Damn.